This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Bro, gnarly.
What's up, Taylor?
Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way.
Way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
A woman has been found guilty of shooting her husband 5 times in a Michigan murder, apparently witnessed by the pet parrot. Glenna Durham shot her husband Martin in front of the couple's pet in 2015 before turning the gun on herself in a failed suicide attempt. The parrot later repeated the words, "Don't shoot," in the victim's voice. The parrot, which is an African gray named Bud, was not used in the court proceedings. The jury did find the woman, who was 49, guilty of first-degree murder following a day of deliberations. She suffered a head wound in the incident in the couple's home, but she did survive. And by the time she went to trial, well, they thought about bringing the parrot in. Christina Keller, she now owns Bud, and she said she believed the parrot was repeating a conversation from the night of the murder.
Would you adopt a parrot that you know is going to repeat the words "don't shoot" in the voice of a man that was shot?
Well, apparently the parrot did not say "don't shoot." The parrot said the phrase "don't shoot" with an expletive added. I'm going to guess that the expletive came between the words "don't" and "shoot."
I'm going to guess you're right.
Ended in ing.
Yes.
That would be, if I was thinking that I might get shot, I think that would be how I would phrase it. Don't effing shoot.
I would not adopt a parrot that I know. Look, you can give me an animal that witnessed a murder. I can survive that. But this one talks, and it does it in the voice of the victim.
Mrs. Durham's parents agreed it was possible that the, quote, foul-mouthed bird had overheard the couple arguing and was repeating their final words. I personally think he was there, and he remembers it, and he just keeps saying it. Now, the victim's mother, Lillian Durham, added, "That bird picks up everything and anything, and it's got the filthiest mouth around that I've ever heard." A prosecutor in Michigan initially considered using the parrot squawkings as evidence in the murder trial, later dismissed it was not necessary. There was enough proof.
Wasn't even necessary. All right, let me ask you this. You're a juror, okay?
Well,
and they're going to bring in a parrot, and look, as far as you know, now look, I feel like there's 2 different scenarios. If there is a murder, only one person's on trial. It's not he said, she said. I would be more inclined to believe the parrot because who would train the parrot to say that? The flip side is both people in a court case are alive. So like it's a divorce or something, which means either one of you could have trained this parrot to say whatever it is I'm supposed to hear.
Sure.
That makes the other person look bad, right? So for like in a murder case, like, okay, I'll listen to the parrot, make a judgment. If they're both alive and it's he said, she said, like, no.
Well,
no.
Didn't you say, was it last week's Big Dummy? One of the questions was, what is the only, maybe it was just the only dog breed that can be brought into evidence. But I thought you said it was the only animal, and that was the bloodhound.
It's a bloodhound.
So maybe a parrot can really,
maybe it's state by state. I don't think there's any federal thing on this. I don't know, because I don't know how often you can. But look, a lot of people, and I don't know that they've used it legally, but as we were researching today's question, one of the things that kept popping up were like a number of people that found out their spouse was cheating. Not spouse, boyfriend or girlfriend.
Because of the parrot.
Because the parrot, right? So the parrot's screaming out whoever's name or whatever it is they said, or wife's not home, come over. I don't know, but they take that and say, you know what, you're cheating on me, so they end it. So I would think people would be inclined to believe a parrot.
Well, but they would know, because you live with this parrot and you know the parrot repeats everything.
Sure.
So, like, it's already, if we own the parrot and I'm cheating on you, man, and the parrot comes home and starts saying, like, oh, Miles.
That's not what I would say.
I don't say that. You're cheating on me.
I think
you're right. I am.
No, the parrot, if it were you, I bet you the parrot would say in your voice, here's your $40, get out.
Yeah. Okay, great. $40.
$40.
It's over already.
That's it?
In her voice.
That's it?
Is that it?
That's it?
You call that a penis?
That's it?
Told you the only one I ever interacted with was the same thing. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I'm good.
The parrot?
Yeah, but you don't realize until other people like walk into the kitchen. Like it just says that.
It's not really, okay. But wouldn't you feel weird not responding?
It doesn't. It's startling at first.
Once it says, "How are you?" Like, well, damn, I'm good, bro. How are you?
And it's just smart enough to realize, like, you've walked into the room. It should greet you.
You give him the parrot head nod. You know what I mean? Like,
you know me. I start having a damn conversation with it. The Barnsley's like, no, the parrot just says that. You don't have to talk to
and
it.
he doesn't understand you,
right? And I'm like, I'm doing okay. Last night was pretty fun. I like the sausage we had. I think it was.
It's a weird to eat eggs in front of you, man. It'll make you uncomfortable.
Do you eat antelope?
Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
There was a deer out front.
Couple of comments here. It says, had my cat bring me a live opossum the other day. Then found another one in the living room. And then another one on the counter, all alive.
Oh, man.
And this one.
I'm telling you, they don't even kill them. They just mess with them.
No, I told you the one brought a baby bird into the house, man. And then I go to toss the thing back outside. The cat just jumps and snatches this thing out of midair. And it was awful. And literally, like, one feather floats down like a cartoon. Jesus, man. Someone here, and if you own a dog, I'm sure you've had a similar situation. I had to pull one used tampon out of my dog's anus. That ended up being tied in a knot to another used tampon still hidden in her butt. Yeah.
How did the dog put ate him?
The dog found it on a walk and ate it or dug it out of the trash.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Like your dog's using tampons?
Were you
That's
seriously?
Impressive.
Just like tying a cherry
thought
with your
that
tongue.
the dog
For a second, I was like,
shoved it in its own anus.
That's like, how did the dog do this?
Just like tying a cherry stem with your tongue, baby.
That is a smart dog.
If my dog could do that, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, we're going to make money.
You'd be rich.
Yeah, are you kidding? Look at this dog.
This dog is smart.
Wow.
Hello, Heather. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So we have a lab, and he's potty trained, but one night I guess he really had to go. And instead of having an accident all throughout the house or in front of the door or anything like that, he went in the bathroom, got in the bathtub, and took a number 2.
Oh, really? Good boy. Good boy.
Hey.
I would be perfectly fine with that.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best place you could have done it in the entire... Unless you have a linoleum floor.
Right.
Something like that. Okay.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's second best option, I think. But I mean, like, if you do it on tile, it gets in the grout. If you do it on hardwood, it gets between the slats. If you do it like, you know what I mean?
The carpet's
I mean, well, in my mind, the shower is the best place to go, man.
Yeah.
Ideally, he'd poop in the toilet.
You just got to teach him how to waffle stomp.
Yeah. If you could just,
And
that's
turn the
why you
water
get a
off.
boxer. You get a boxer to smash it. You'll never even know. What's your dog doing? Dirty poops
Watch
in the
this,
shower.
man. That he'll take care of it. Watch. He'll turn the water on and stomp it out.
Waffle stomps it down. It's
Good
cool.
or bad? What's the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK. Good boy.
What, Mike?
Good boy.
If you had a dog, the dog poops in your shower and he just smashes that thing down and then can run the water and then goes back about his day, you would have a problem.
Cleans
with
off
this.
his paws.
That's the thing, is that he wouldn't clean off his paws. He would then just jump on me and be so proud of himself, and then I get his nasty duty feel.
That's when the boxer would then slap you.
But throw us a point. In theory, this dog has done this and washes his paw. It's like, at that, I don't know if I could be mad.
No. I wouldn't even go outside with him. I'd be like, go poop in the
use the
shower.
bathroom,
Smash it
dude.
down, man. Like we trained you to do.
What if he told you, too? Like, we're almost out of hand soap.
Good looking out. Hello, Kaylee. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, we had this crazy black tomcat who was just obsessed with all things cigarettes, little bags of weed. He would just find them wherever we had stashed them away. He would find them magically. Like, I zipped up my backpack, I swear, and I saw my cigarettes just ripped to shreds all over the floor, and little bags of weed just all the time. And so, anyway, one night we decided to treat ourselves to a little bag of Coke, and we're sitting on the couch and enjoying it. We have this little table up in our laps. We're huddled over it like little, so...
Are you on a speakerphone?
Just Goofy Cat, I am.
Can you take us off a speakerphone?
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. Can you hear me better?
Not really.
Yeah, no.
Tiny bit.
Okay, so this black cat is looking over our shoulders as we're looking over this little place on our lap, and he dives in between our heads straight onto the plate and just face first into the plate of white powder and is covered in it. He is no longer a black cat. He's a white cat now.
Now, what do? Do you start snorting the cat?
A whole puff of beautiful powder flew everywhere.
A beautiful lengthy
I gotta let you go. I can't
hog
listen.
leg of a long
I would kill my cat.
8-ball line.
I missed that thing. I was so thrown off by the sound of the phone call.
It's kind of like that moment in Paranormal Activity when the demon has clearly possessed the chick and is just kind of like talking bass over her every time she talks.
I don't know. I was like, is she calling us through a computer?
Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
So the point was the dog took their drugs?
Yes. They dove into the pile.
The cat did.
The cat did.
Yeah, they turned the cat into a drug addict, apparently. And then the last thing it did was dive into the pile of cocaine.
I mean, cocaine is not cheap.
That is one cool cat.
I feel like people will be really pissed.
Meow. That must be from Nolan's cat. It's a hip cat.
Yeah, we're going to have that kind of party now.
You need a Hohenia.
Yeah.
You don't see a black curtain turn white. Look at that. Da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
You spent some good money on this here. Colombian chop. I'm digging it. Devil's dandruff, my brother. Ooh. Meow. Ooh. Good thing I got 9 lives. I just OD'd twice. Woo! Feeling good, brother. I'm going to lick my butthole now. Thank you.
Doing this one for Charlie Parker.
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome
Feeling
to the
frisky.
Hola.
So, growing up, my parents had a Bengal cat like the color before.
All right. How big was it?
And he was good size, probably about 15 pounds.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting in their living room looking out the front window, and I see this German Shepherd trotting up the road. And the cat comes out from underneath my dad's car. The German Shepherd just yelps, puts its tail between its legs, and just calling.
Because it recognizes that goddamn cat is a killer. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they know, man. I mean, those things will rip them up.
Well, and the other thing with him is he like the other caller said, he liked water. He had to drink out of the faucet if he was going to have water. But if you went in to take a shower, you had to make sure the cat was out of the bathroom because he would get between the shower curtain and the tub and start swatting at the wall for your feet.
Yeah, I used to have a cat that did that. It annoyed the piss out of me, man.
Get between the two curtains?
Yeah. I'm just trying to take a shower. We're like, come on, man. Something about the paw action. I mean, maybe she's like, that sounds bad.
That seems like
that sounds real bad. Oh, I didn't know it'd be like that now. Yeah, you taking a shower. I got that cocaine in me, player. Yeah.
Getting ready for it.
Somebody here, we're talking about training your animals.
Strung out of cocaine. Now people pay me for paw action.
Come over, Susan.
Why you gotta sing the blues?
I know how to use them paws, boy. All you gotta do is get away in the shower.
That's how I got through the jail.
Jesus.
It's a misnomer. The cats ain't water.
I'll be in the witches, player. It's all good. Get the loofah ready, son. Use the testicles for a speed bag. Right. Yeah, don't act like you don't like it.
Put that laser point any way you want.
I know I'm doing good when you go, ooh.
Now rub a head.
I ain't talking about me.
Give me some wet food. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
Oh, man, I want to meet cocaine.
I know. I wish you was a cartoon character, man. I watch that every night.
Get the ladies.
Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the men's room.
How you guys doing?
Oh, well. Fantastic.
Hanging in there.
Sounds like it. Hey, so I got 2 dogs. They're both puppies. They're both working dog breeds, and if they don't get their 4-mile run during the day because it's too hot to take them out, they decide to go on that run in and out of the house sometime between midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, God.
They'll grab their toys. They will squeak their little squeaky balls. They're wrestling with each other.
Squeaky balls.
Yeah.
Do you physically have to run them?
My wife does.
I was going to say,
too fat and slow to run 4 miles.
You got to be in great shape to have those dogs.
Yeah, no, she'll run them 4 miles and
Hello.
And that's it.
Play for 2 hours chasing dogs at the dog park, too.
Okay, well, did your wife run 4 miles before you got the dogs?
No.
So is she like super fit now?
She always has been. But actually, she realized that running all this time has actually helped with her asthma, too. So,
nice. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, it sounds like that's a bonus on this. That's a good story.
Oh, absolutely.
Other than you get too hungover and you don't walk them and run them and then, all night long.
Yeah, but you don't have to. It all works.
Well, we're down here in the Bay Area, California, so for the last month it's been high 90s during the day, and it doesn't cool off until midnight, and that's when they decide to wake up the neighbors and us and go wrestle with each other or run or whatever else.
You guys get any of that smoke from the fires, or is that too far north?
No, we actually, for whatever reason, the wind is moving just right to where we had 1 or 2 days of a little bit of smoke, and other than that, it's all blowing out towards the Midwest, I guess.
So nothing like last year, then?
No, last year was horrible.
Yeah.
Last year and the year
good to
before that.
So what do you do with the dogs, say, last year when all that smoke was blanketing your area?
Well, that's the funny thing is the oldest dog we have, we got him when he was 3 months old, and we got him at the last July, the end of July. So we didn't have to deal with the puppy during 4th of July last year. The smoke was dying down, but he was a puppy, so he wasn't running 4 miles.
All right.
So are they always on edge, man, even if you do run them? Do they just have that much energy?
Saturdays and Sundays, since neither my wife or I work in the mornings, they get run 4 miles in the morning, go play at the dog park, and then we walk home 1.5 miles, and by the time we get home, it's 11:30, and they will sleep all day long.
So you just got to get a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. One of them's a Border Collie mix, and the other one's an Australian Cattle Dog Boxer mix.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, super high energy and way too smart for their own good.
Do you ever want to take them around like a herd of sheep or something and just see what they do?
We actually took them on a walk or on some trails, and it was the first time either one of them saw a cow in real life. And it's by far the biggest steer I've ever seen in real life, and they both wanted every bit of that cow. Barking at it, pulling on the leashes, all they wanted to do was go after it, even though they were about the size of its head.
That sounds about right.
Good times.
Miles, by the way, you were saying about if you could train your animal to actually use the toilet. Mm-hmm. Somebody here says, I trained 2 cats to use the toilet. Later, a 3rd cat broke our sliding glass door with a golf ball.
What?
So 2 for 3, man.
Man, that's a hell of a swing.
How did the cat?
He didn't know to play outside.
Yeah, I'll say, did he spit it?
I thought it was a ball of cocaine, player.
Hell of a night.
Yeah, man.
Cocaine cat.
Good or bad?
Pawn action.
What is the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed.
You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, GEICO can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and GEICO is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
99.9 KISW. Yeah! You're in the men's room.
Good or bad, what is the most impressive thing your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Sheila. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola. So me and my husband just got back from Sturgis, and we were like broke jokes because we spent everything at Sturgis having way too much fun. And the day after we got back was the Hemp Fest, and we scraped up what little pennies we had left and went to the Hemp Fest with our little dachshund. She's about 6 pounds. And we're walking into the Hemp Fest, and I notice she has something in her mouth. And I'm like, drop it. And she drops it, and it's a roll of money with the rubber band, and it was $187.
Get out of here.
No, I was like, where the hell did she pick it up?
Who cares?
So right when we got in, there was this vendor selling these jerky or alligator sticks or whatever for like $13. And my husband goes, yeah, I want one of those. And he bought it, and he started feeding it to the dog, and the guy was losing it. He's like, those are for humans. And he's like, yeah, but she just found me $187, so she deserves it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Damn.
That's right.
So the dog saved the day.
Keep looking for more money.
Yeah. Yeah, she paid for the day. We got way too stoned. And it managed to come out with a really nice bong.
Nice.
All thanks to the dog.
Ta-da.
Hemp Fest.
I love her enthusiasm. We got back from Sturgis, go to Hemp Fest, got
Keep on rolling. Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK. Great
She
energy
doesn't strike
level.
me
Great
as
energy
someone
level.
who has a bad time much.
No.
Hey, they make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
So, like a previous caller, I grew up with a sheepdog. And like you said, super high energy, super athletic. And a little before she was a year old, she started jumping the fence in our backyard. And it was only about 3 or 4 feet. So we said, it's time for a new fence anyway. We put in like an 18-foot fence that was part wood, part metal, flat on our side. And figuring, this will solve this problem. She'll be done. And not even a year old, not even like hour after the people who were putting in the fence left, she was up and over that one too.
And how much did that fence cost? Because they're not cheap.
No, they're not. That fence probably cost close to $1,000.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, that is when you're really going for the fix. Like, this is the permanent fix.
I mean, did you have to replace the fence again?
No, we didn't. We spent another huge sum of money on one of those electric.
The electric collar.
Did it work? Hello.
Jump the fence and get shocked to realize that maybe this wasn't the best thing to do.
So are you saying the electric fence did work then? You cut out on us.
It did work.
Okay.
It did
all
work.
right.
Otherwise, I don't know what we would have done.
How much was the electric fence?
Oh, God. Probably about the same as the super tall fence that we put in. Probably, at least a few $100s because they have to bury a cable all over your yard.
Oh, so it's not an exposed line.
No,
it's actually in the ground.
It's not. Not an electric fence. You snap on a little collar onto the dog, and there's an underground cable that goes around, like the front of your yard. And if they go over it, they get a little shock. So,
I mean, they can still just jump through, man, and deal with it, and then you're free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, once they learn that move, like, it's worth the zap.
But apparently you can adjust the level.
Okay.
That's my understanding. I don't have one, but someone had told me you can adjust the level. So if your dog's like, I can take it, you can drop it up like, look, man.
Okay.
Let's not make this a CIA torture.
Yeah, I mean, I've known a couple people that had them, like, those dogs knew exactly where the edge was.
Okay. All right.
Because it only takes a few amount of times to get shocked. You're going to be like, okay, I know I can't go past this point.
Yeah, is it worth it? Because they don't know what happens on the other. They don't know if it keeps going. Does it keep going, or is it just once? Like if they breach it and stay on the other side.
No,
it keep
I think once you leave the barrier, you know what I mean. Like
so, just one pop.
If you just took a run and just jump, man, like the next thing you know, you're in the neighbor's yard.
Would you put one on your genitals and run through an electric?
I think I think it's still going to zap them.
That's what you
like. You got to get back on side of it.
That's what I think. Like if it's just a moment of pain, you know. It's like pulling off a Band-Aid. It's not the worst pain, but if like
just
for the next 18 hours after you pulled it off, it felt the same. Like you wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, look, much lesser degree, but you only have to push a cart outside of a store once and realize that lock comes on. And be like, oh, I can't take it out here.
You tried to steal a shopping cart before?
No, but sometimes you want to push it closer to a car you're putting your stuff in.
And yours does that.
Wait, what now?
Yeah, like you never been to a grocery store that, like, if you take the cart too far out, it'll just put the lock on it so you can't drive it anymore?
No.
All right.
Man, what kind of highfalutin grocery store are you shopping at, man? I go to Safeway.
They must have the nicest.
It's not highfalutin. It's the opposite.
Right.
You don't have people in your neighborhood taking it.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, nice neighborhoods don't need that.
Nice neighborhoods don't need that.
Okay. Good or bad? Well, it's a Ballard. I just figured everyone. I mean, I see them all the time on the Burt Gilman Trail. I figure they come.
Well, they use them as grills. No, I had no idea that they had those.
Yeah, like the QFC I go to, like if you try to walk that thing out the front, you have like 2 feet, and that's it, and then it locks down.
Damn. Okay.
So how far? Do they have a parking lot?
Yeah, that's underneath. You can take it in there.
All right.
But somebody was just parked on the street, so I was like, screw it, I'll take it outside. Nah. Right.
Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So, 2001, I bought a house. I'm a contractor, and I buy houses and fix them up and flip them. And I bought this gnarly house, great big place, pretty gross inside, and the owners forgot to tell everyone that there were 16 feral cats in the attic.
Yeah, they didn't forget.
And slipped their mind. So I went about, starting to clean the place up, and I started living there, and I started hearing all these noises at night. Anyway, I finally figured out that these cats were up there, and so I had to catch them one at a time, which if you've ever tried to catch a feral cat, it's quite an ordeal. But fast forward, I put them in the kitchen, and I boarded up the door, and I had, because I wasn't fully living there, so the kitchen was a great storage area for them until I could get them all together and then put them in a cage and then take them down to the free spay and neuter clinic, and then they were going to take them out to Monroe. There's a place out there that has a barn with like over 200 feral cats that just live wild there. So anyway, finally got like 14 of them in the kitchen, and one morning I got up, because it takes a couple days at a time to catch each one.
I was going to ask, what is your technique to get these cats?
So what we did was they come out of the attic into the bedroom upstairs, and there's no food source for them. So I would put a can of tuna fish in the corner of the room, and we had a closed circuit TV camera, and we had a real high tech rope that was on the doorknob, that went down the stairs and into the living room. So my nephew and I were living there at the time, and we would sit there and watch TV, and we had picture-in-picture up in the corner of that room. So each time a cat would, venture out, and they were very, very skittish, they would, as soon as they got to the corner where the cat food or the tuna fish was, we'd yank the rope, and it would slam the door, and they couldn't get out of the room. And then I would have to put on these like welder's gloves, and I had I had goggles, and then I had a fish net, like, just a regular fish net, right? So I'd go up there, and the minute you open the door, they just go nuts, and it was really sad. They're smashing into the window and everything. They're just absolutely terrorized. And I would finally catch it in the fish net, and then I would step on the handle of the net to kind of pin it to the ground, and then I would pick it up and with the gloves, and I would put it in a cat carrier, and I would take it down into the kitchen, and then I would open it up, and that's where I had the food and the water and everything down there. So
easy peasy, lemon squeeze.
Golly, that sounds like a lot.
Well, there was how else are you going to do it, right?
I wouldn't.
And so I know. So one morning I come down, we almost got them all, and they said they were going to do this one time, so I had to get all of them. And we go downstairs, and there's a hole in the wall. They had eaten through the drywall, both sides, from the kitchen into the dining room, and they were all gone. So they were all back up in the attic now, and and it was like, we're not going to fall for that again. And so I ended up having to do the same thing all over again. But this time it was that much more difficult because they knew, as hungry as they were, they knew if they came out that there was a high likelihood they were going to get caught again. So, man, it was a drag.
Damn. Well, there's a service that does that. They come around and they'll wrangle them up for you. But typically they put them back in the neighborhood where they got them. But they've been spayed or neutered because they're alley cats, barn cats. But as long as they can't reproduce, they want them to go back to their home.
I see.
So they figure.
Well, so in this instance, the one thing that I found out that was, these poor things are vicious. I mean, when they're wild like that, and you put hands on them, they're pretty sure they've met their maker, and they're going to fight, to the death. And I couldn't believe how strong they were. It was really sad, but it was really gratifying to get them into the kitchen and get them food, and then when we finally took them to the shelter, that was really gratifying because everybody else was like, I got a 12 gauge,
right.
And it's like, no, I don't roll like that.
Right. Let me ask you this. You fixed the house up. Tell me you made a decent profit on this thing.
Well, I did. I kind of got taken advantage of because the guy who was my buddy, who was the appraiser, who told me what the house was worth, was always, the real estate agent was also buddies with the appraiser who knew exactly what the house was worth, and he lowballed me. But I still did pretty well on it, and it's still, I drive by it every day and I look at it, and it's just a gorgeous house, and it was really a dozer. Almost all the houses I buy are just complete teardowns, and I end up renovating them, and
that's cool, man.
Somebody else moves into them. Yeah, I see value in almost every structure. So.
Well, good on you, man.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
Because I don't. I mean, I really don't, man. I'm sorry. My
There's
goddamn
no way that
neighbor's
thing can be
house.
fixed.
Jesus.
Really?
Oh, my God, dude. I can't even explain it. I cannot explain my neighbor's house. They've had a blue tarp on the roof since moved in. All right, and the house, it's maybe 900 square feet. It looks like a cabin, except that it's not a cabin. Everything's grown up. It looks abandoned. It really does. But they live there. And they're a very nice couple. He's a retired bus driver. She does whatever the hell she does. They're very sweet. They're very
They just don't fix the roof.
Oh, my God, they don't fix anything. It is unbelievable what their house looks like.
Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
I mean, that was my house growing up.
Really?
Yeah, same thing.
Blue tarp, all that stuff?
Not blue tarp, but just there was a car that just sat there for years. I mean, there was a crack in the foundation.
Oh, and, Jesus.
Which is kind of weird, because now when I go back east, my house looks great.
It's all fixed up.
Right. I'm like, Dad, why didn't we do this when we were living in it? Now it's just you. The place looks awesome.
The cost of children.
That's right.
That's what I convince him. My son's always like, why don't we have a Tesla? I'm like, well, one, I don't really want one, and they're kind of pricey. He goes, well, they're so expensive. How come so many people drive around with them? I said, they don't have kids. Oh, that's easy, man. There's a Tesla or you and your sister. I mean, that's the break. I can get a Tesla, but you can't live here.
Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Lindsay. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, long time listener, first time getting through. I love you guys.
Hey, love you too.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hey, so my dog, he's a chocolate lab. His name is Davies. And if you know anything about labs, they'll just eat and eat and eat until they pretty much blow up. I had a roommate who's had a birthday, and his mom had made him a German chocolate cake, and he left it on the counter untouched, and my dog ate the entire thing, which obviously scared me. Dogs can't have chocolate.
Right.
Well, yeah. How big?
So I called the vet, and the vet says, well, immediately give him a pint of vanilla ice cream. It'll be really cold on his tummy. It'll make him throw up, or he'll get diarrhea, one or the other. It'll come out one end. It never did.
Oh, really?
He was totally fine.
He just had a hell of a birthday.
He had a cake and ice cream.
So he got himself a big old chocolate cake and then got to, drink it down with some ice cream.
Yeah, man, you got to be. I still am. It's almost like I still have animals living with me. I'm still that conscious about placing food places. Like it just
it's muscle memory, man.
It really is. Like you never like, oh, don't put that down there. Like don't put that on the coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't have a cat or a dog anymore that will eat it.
Like back in my super broke days, man. I'm like 24 maybe, but we invited people to our apartment for like a Thanksgiving dinner, right? And the one thing that we spent money on, because everyone's broke, people did the best they could, kind of potluck, but we did get a turkey. Carve up the turkey, everyone sits down, we eat our first meal together. And what I don't realize, the turkey's back in this teeny tiny phone booth sized kitchen, but it's kind of down the hall. So I walk down the hall. This turkey is picked clean. And then on the cutting board next to the turkey is my cat at the time. And I'm like,
oh no,
the cat, man. Like, so we all got at least one serving. But when I came back, it was down to the bone. Like the turkey was gone. And it's this weird moment, like where we made eye contact and like he knew I hated him, but I was more in disbelief that this 9-pound cat maybe took down this much goddamn meat. So you fast forward later that night and I start hearing, wrong. And I had no sympathy. I'm like,
yeah.
You ate my goddamn dinner and I'm broke, man.
And you're potty trained.
And then just puking up all night, man. There's just turkey.
Different.
Like all the turkey I should have eaten was now on my apartment floor.
Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
Well, Miles' one dog, Honey, was very quiet and like didn't get nearly as fired up as Miles the dog did.
Right. Oh, God.
Remember that one time that we were taking out the trash and there was like the end of the ham in there after Easter? Mm-hmm. And Honey just latched on to that thing. I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I've never seen that dog like react to anything like that.
Even just, you know what I mean, make a noise.
But, ham, I'll kill a man.
Exactly.
Oh, ham.
Salty. Hello, Scott. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my story is we were up at my brother's house up at Gin Creek up out of Arlington, and we were standing down at the beach that runs through his backyard, and we were down there having a beer, and my Chewiener, he dives in the river and pulls out a 14-inch salmon.
Oh,
get out of here.
Drags it on the beach.
Now, did he shake it around like dogs do with most things, or did he kind of leave it intact?
He just drug it on the beach and just kind of wanted kudos for hunting. You know, he's a hunter.
So he basically he didn't want to eat it. He just wanted like, look what I got, Dad.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, that was it.
Were you able to put the salmon back into the water?
Yeah, he was all right. Well, kind of all right.
I was like, would the salmon say that? I'm not all right, man.
Yeah.
No, it was pretty incredible. So when we go camping nowadays, he's always hunting at the river edge, you know.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Well, bring a frying pan next time.
I would. I mean, I'm like, hey, man, that's what he's going to do. We're making salmon.
Or wasabi.
I'll just read this as it came in. It says, growing up, I had a dog that figured out how to masturbate. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Good or bad, what's the most impressive thing that your pet has done? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello,
There's
Steven.
a lot there.
Oh, I know. Hello, Steven.
All right,
Hola.
All right, my dog doesn't know how to do that, but I will say. So, my wife and I, we've been married almost 9 years, and for 11 years that we've been together, we've had a Siberian Husky. She's like our first dog. And, they talk. They're very, very a part of the family. And she has this weird, we don't know what to call her. She's like the fun police. So if you make any contact with another human, she instantly has to break it up and get into the middle. And she doesn't allow it. It's
so she won't allow
hilarious.
you. So like if you're walking down the street walking her and you talk to the neighbor, then the dog's like, enough of this.
But if I go to hug, let's say I were to hug the neighbor, she'd be like, no, She gets in the middle and starts doing like, Huskies are very talkative, and she'll start talking like, this is not okay.
And I picture a Siberian Husky, so this is not okay with me, comrade.
Right.
I would like you to disengage from the
sitting on
hunting.
the couch, and she will come and think she's a lap dog and muzzle her way through me and my wife just so that we can't touch.
Jesus.
See, that's not okay, man. If I'm nuzzling my wife, we're leading to good things.
Still to come, Ryan Castle's in. We will sit and spin. We've got the 10 most popular band T-shirts of all times right after emails on our question, good or bad. What is the most impressive thing that your pet has ever done?
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.